We FNAF fans love our lore and our characters, so why don't we rank the characters by lore importance? Specifically security breach ones, cause you know that's the era of FNAF that just ended, even though the new one kinda hasn't even started. Anyway, let's get into it. So, last place is Music Man. As much as we all, and especially MatPat, love him, he didn't really do anything that would have any impact on the lore. He just looked cool and made cool music and casually tried to kill Gregory. Yeah, and the same goes for the wind-up Music Man, except, you know, the cool part. Next is Chica, because, well, she does absolutely nothing lore important. She just walks around and eats trash. But I put her above the DJ, cause we break her and use her to upgrade Fredad, which is kinda important. Yeah, that's kinda all I have to say for her. The Glamrock Endos are next for causing Freddy a mental breakdown. Pat Pats, also known as wet floorbots, also known as demonic child screaming. You probably know where I'm going with this. They might have not been lore significant in the main game, but in Ruin, they A. have demonic sounds of children screaming after tripping on the wet floor, and B. they allow you to visit Bonnie, who has a whole ass story arc in the two games. And of course, if we're going by Mark's theory, they point out Montgomery's innocence in the Bonnie story, which is a significant plot point. Next is Monty, and yeah, the only lore important thing he's done is killed Bonnie or got framed for doing so, and that's not much, but considering Bonnie basically got his own side story, it's something. Candy Cadet tells a cool story, which is a metaphor for what's happening in the game. The reason he's this high on the list is because his story caused a lot of theorizing about who's the mother in the story that he's telling in the actual in-game real world. The staff bots. Wanna know why they're so important? Well, that's pretty easy. The Nightmare colored staff bots are a reference to, well, Nightmare, and with how many of those are in both base game LSB and Ruin, and John FNAF's theories on connections to Charlie, I think it's fair to say that they have some lore importance. They were also controlled by Venny or something, but that's not that important. You know, considering the Glamrocks are the main threats during at least the first game, they sure aren't that important. While Roxy is important to the story of Ruin in particular, the only thing she does for the overall lore of the franchise is tell us how Cassie gets no friends. There are also theories on the green stuff fixing her in the AR world being one of the theoretical entities controlling the Pizzaplex, helping her or something, which is why she's not that low. So next is the daycare attendant, which is kinda controversial, I know. But just as MatPat said, his inclusion in the game is really random and doesn't seem to fit anywhere, which probably means something. There's also a mix of the supposed two sides of the supposed entities hacking stuff in the Pizzaplex, at least according to game theory. Anyway, he's also gonna be in Help Wanted 2, which is interesting. I don't know exactly where though, cause I've only seen the thumbnails of the preview videos. If you're still unconvinced, well, he literally has a secret minigame, and we all know that secret minigames are where the lore is, or was at least. I can put him, or them, higher, cause we don't quite know enough about them and as of now to talk about their importance. Helpy's a weird one. You might think he doesn't have any lore significance, but considering it's an AI that has knowledge of like the whole Pizzaplex that can just appear in your eyes once you have the Venny mask implant, I feel like he's quite good evidence for just how advanced Fazbear Entertainment technologies have gotten and how far we've gotten into the sci-fi FNAF era. He also gets controlled by the character that I'ma hold up for a bit, which is a plot point that might be important later considering he's still in Cassie's head and she's probably not dead. Max's isn't really as important as the question who the heck made him and why the heck did they give him so much riz. Did I really just say that? Glamrock Bonnie sure did something lore important, I think. Otherwise, why would someone just decide to go out of their way to kill him? So there's this mystery built around Bonnie's decommissioning, and we still don't know for sure what Bonnie did, who killed him, why they killed him, what does it have to do with the overall lore, and other stuff. He does seem to have some sort of connection to Cassie's dad, who is supposedly important too. And can we just put Cassie's dad on the same tier? Because we barely know anything about him other than that he's probably important, kinda like with Bonnie. And Cassie's dad is only mentioned a few times, so I think giving him like a spot on the list separate from Bonnie would be weird. Fun fact. I literally forgot about Cassie's existence when writing the script, so this part was made like a week after most of the editing was done. Cassie is literally only important to the lore because of how important everyone she knows is. Like, her dad worked as a Fazbear technician and had some sort of connection to Bonnie. She became friends with Roxy and literally the main character of Security Breach, which also then led to the entire story of Ruin. She also has a brain implant with an evil virus which may or may not be important for later. Fredad, while important to the story of Security Breach, doesn't really give us any info on the overall lore of the games. There were a lot of theories on why he's good in the first game, but that was kinda explained by the prototype thing. I did like the Glam Mike theories, even though they had little to no evidence for them. There was also the thing where Freddy was talking about someone taking him below the Pizzaplex to clear the path or something, which means something, I suppose. Anyway, I gotta place him this high for how much he participated in the main Security Breach storyline. Vanessa is a pretty important character. You know, she killed some people, she hacked some robots, she was basically the focus of base Security Breach story without even existing for most of it. I think it's fair to say she has some lore importance, yeah. The heck is the blob now? We don't know. How did it create itself? We don't know. Where did it get the Funtime Freddy mask? Probably in the theorized sister location below the Pizzaplex. Dang, I thought of this while writing and it would actually kinda make sense now. No way. Is it lore important? Yeah, I think it is. I mean, it's theorized to have caused the earthquake because of which the Pizzaplex is in ruins. It also seems to have beef with that important antagonist I won't mention for now, and that is probably important. Considering Vanessa's role as Vanny is done, I feel like Tangle blob thing is just more important right now and has some more stuff to do in the future. Now, even though Gregory is the main character of Security Breach, he's quite weird, because like, I've heard that the books confirm that he's a robot, which I mean cool, but is that canon? If so, where did he even come from? He's also like a master hacker and the physical manifestation of evil. All I wanna say is that Ruin is probably not our last encounter with this little... And the first place is obviously the legend, the meme lord, the theorist favorite, I present to you Mr. Hippo, the most important character in the FNAF lore. RaTy, you do realize that Mr. Hippo isn't important to the lore in neither Security Breach nor any other FNAF game, right? Also, where's my redesign? You got one 2 videos ago. First of all, how dare you say that Mr. Hippo's stories aren't important? Second, without the Mr. Hippo magnet, you wouldn't even be able to get into the daycare and start exploring the Pizzaplex as Gregory. Mr. Hippo literally made Security Breach happen. Not to mention, he fully replaces the Freddy Fazbear in one of the endings. And this is the franchise called Five Nights at Freddy's. So obviously Mr. Hippo is important. Even Fazbear Entertainment knows it. The only reason we don't see the actual Glamrock Mr. Hippo is that it would just cause too much hype. Wanna know why? Mr. Hippo knows the full FNAF timeline. His stories would just reveal the whole story. Of course, Steel Wool can't put too much of him in. All of that is why Mr. Hippo is undeniably the most lore important character in not only Security Breach, but in FNAF in general.
Take a map, take a map, take a map.